Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Round 19 in the bag, the last major buy round. I survived. I went alright, 913 with only 11 players. Pretty happy with that score. I was flat though. I only went up 490 spots. Maintained a mediocre score of a top 8% rank, so 12,167. Let's go over it all. So, round 20 this week. I am in danger. I'm in danger. The old Sonny Luke, Williami dilemma. Not even a dilemma. A car crash has caught up to me, which I knew would happen. But this round is where it absolutely stabs me right in the middle of the chest. So, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but let's go over everything and see how we're looking. We'll go over our scores for the round. So, obviously, Tohu got a 94, which was pretty good. Fanua Blake with 56. 56, so AFB is... he's took his foot off the pedal a fair bit. And he doesn't seem to be doing what he was doing for a couple of months there. Now, I don't know... Pretty much at this point in time, I'm keeping him. He's definitely not a trade out. But I think if you do have a lot of trades in the bank and you're looking at mixing it up a little bit, I would definitely consider going AFB to Tino. Or... Tino is quite expensive. He's like 830k, and I would hate spending that much money on a front row. So it's one of those things. If you've got cash in the bank already saved, sure. If you need to nuff a player to upgrade Fanua Blake to Tino, I don't know if that would be ideal. I think you want to start looking elsewhere with some upside. I do understand Tino does score really, really well. He usually scores 70 plus, but he doesn't really have a ceiling. And when you're paying 800 and however many, 820 plus K for a player, you want him to have a pretty decent ceiling on him. Front row is not where it's at. So, yeah. It's one of those things. If I didn't have Fanua Blake, I'd be looking at Tino, but I do. So I'm stuck with that. David Fafita, he didn't play, so Nikora got an 88. He was looking grim for most part of that game, actually. I'm pretty sure he was on like 60 up until the last 15 minutes. And he somehow scored pretty well at the end. So, not too bad. Madison with a 54, again playing at 5'8". I really hope to God this is the last time we see him do this, because I bought him in about 3 weeks ago and he's been playing 5'8" the whole time. Very frustrating, because when I got him in, I did not get him in thinking that he will be playing 5'8". That's not how it rolls. That's not how it works. So pretty disappointing. I could have got Matto at a far less price, but it is what it is. Hindsight wins again. Speaking of Hines, 109. Put the V on him, looped him. Pretty happy with it. I was actually considering going captain on Asako. Very, very happy that I did not do that. So, more than happy to loop Hines with 109. Mulatalo with an infamous 19. So he does have these scores in him. It's rare because he does score for fun, but the week that everybody gets him in, he scores his lowest score of the season. Yeah, I didn't bring him in. I've had him for quite a while now, but that would burn a lot of people who bought him in. AJ with a 21, that's expected. There's a 21 in AJ all the time when Latrell and Cody isn't in the side, because they just don't know how to go down that side. Munro with a 91. Now, he is looking at someone who will either be a nuff or he could be a season keeper from here on in. Sorry about the cough. Winter. Yeah, Munro, he could either be enough or he could just continue playing all the way through. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes out after this week's bye round for the Bunnies. It won't shock me at all if he starts again the following week. So we'll see what happens there. Asako with a 56. Wow, this cough's a killer. So Asako with a 56. Now we go on to the next round. So this is where it gets interesting. Cook's on a bye, so I'm left with Sonny. Now Sonny, we don't know what's going to be happening this week. Teams list comes out pretty shortly. I'm recording this just before 4 o'clock. If he gets named, it'll be an absolute miracle to start. So I doubt it. So I think I'm in a bit of a sticky situation where I might have to run no hooker, which is going to hurt. So we've got Fanua, Blake and Tohu in there. They're up against the Sharks this week. So I think that's going to be a battle. That's definitely going to be a battle. I don't see this game being high scoring at all. And I think that this game is going to be one through the middle. So if it's one through the middle, you can bet Tohu and Fanua Blake is going to have a big say in that if the Warriors want to get this win over the Sharks. I'm expecting big scores from those two, but we'll see what happens. Fafita on a Sunday, he will likely back up. He plays the Parramatta Eels Sunday night. So I will be very surprised pending injuries if he doesn't back up. Nikora, Madison, hopefully starting on an edge this time. Please no 5'8". Hoskins there. Now, I went early last week. I used a trade last week to get Cleary in. Reports are that Cleary is ready to go. If Cleary is ready to go, the matchup against the Dolphins is very favourable. He might not be 100% when it comes to confidence, obviously coming back from an injury, but Cleary against the Dolphins. I mean, even if he plays at 70%, he's likely to score well. Now, I've got Hosking in the side still. If Hosking is named, I will keep him because when Cleary's in the side, Hosking scores well. Now, if Hosking's not named, I'll be looking at potentially nuffing Hosking or downgrading Hosking to someone who, more than likely that young Bulldogs player that started on the weekend. I can't remember his name, but he scored quite well. And he could potentially hold that spot. He scored a hat-trick. So it's very difficult for a side to drop a player who just scored a hat-trick. So that could be the go, but we're going to wait on teams list. Kepi might be named. Who knows? He wasn't named last time because Gerbo was back. But they might have just given him a rest. So we'll see what happens. Ponga, he is actually my captain this week. I'm going to be going with a pod captain. I think Hines up against the Warriors. That's going to be a very tough game. And I don't see Hines scoring incredibly well. Where Ponga is at home against the Tigers. I can definitely see a world where Ponga repeats what he did a couple of weeks ago and score another ton and the rest, especially with his kicking game back in play. AJ Brimson, he should back up after Origin. It's a big game against the Eels. Manu, Garrick, Mulatalu, and this is where the situation gets messy. Now, Williami, I don't have backup for Williami because AJ, Timoko and Munro are all on the bye. Williami actually was the 18th man last week. Now, I'm hoping that he gets a start, but I very much doubt it. If he does get named, that's going to be a blessing. 4 o'clock will tell all. So, at this point in time, if Williami does get named, I actually won't make any trades this week. If Williami doesn't get named, I'm going to have to try and find a way to trade out AJ for someone who covers. Because even though AJ is relying heavily on Cody and Latrell to be back, which they are due to be coming back, I don't think I'm going to miss having AJ in my side. So that's going to be something that I'm going to have to look into come 4 o'clock. But Asako and Dylan Edwards in my fullback. I very much hate the fact that I have to play Asako this week against the Panthers. If I had it my way and I had if I had depth in my centre without my players on the bye, I would definitely be resting. I definitely wouldn't be playing Asako this week against the Panthers. But we'll see. Because let's just say if by chance, I'm pretty sure Ivan said that he's going to be resting a lot of his Origin players. If he does, the Dolphins might have a crack at the Panthers, but I very much doubt it because even the players that have been but covering the Origin players, they've been doing an absolute superb job. So, yeah, I think the Dolphins are in for an ugly Sunday afternoon. So, sorry about this cough, guys. It's an absolute belter at the moment. Let's go over my trade ideas. I am considering nuffing Kepi if he doesn't get named. And if I do nuff Kepi, that gives me 200k to be able to upgrade AJ to Marzu. Now that is something that I'm very much considering at this point in time. Because if I've got Ponga and Ponga's on fire, Marzu is going to benefit from that. And the Knights have about 5 home games coming up before season end. And I would hate to not own Marzu for those 5 remaining games. I think it's 4 or 5. So that's my trade talk at the moment. That's my that's my thought process. I have thought about other things like potentially getting in Brendan Smith because the Cheese is back this week. I was going to upgrade Sonny Luke to the Cheese for an extra 240k or 250k. I think it's a little bit more. It's around that mark. I was also considering potentially upgrading or nothing Hosking if he doesn't get named down to a player which would bank me 260k, which I then could upgrade someone like, I don't know, like a Kepi to another gun 2RF. So it's one of those things where teams list at 4 o'clock is definitely going to be very, very interesting for myself. I will 100% let everybody know what my trade will be. But like I said, I think this week is a week for me to just sit back and take my medicine, because I definitely got it wrong by leaving certain players where they are and not moving them on ages ago when I should have. But that's Supercoach, and we tend to get things wrong sometimes. So it is what it is. Hopefully teams list is promising. If not, it's 1 week. It's 1 week out of the rest of the season where I might just score poorly and that's it. And we bounce back and we go again next week. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Let me know how everybody went. Let me know what your score was over the bye round. Let me know how you're going for this week, because there's still 3 teams on the bye this week. I think it's Raiders, Rabbitohs and Dragons are all on the bye. So there could be quite a few teams out there that are actually in a bit of trouble this week. So let me know what your trade thoughts are. Let me know how you're going to be going. And yeah, good luck everyone, and hopefully the Blues win tomorrow night, even though it's a dead rubber. So cheers for listening, guys, and good luck for the week.